What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. What we got going on here in front of us is a 2005 Kawasaki Bruteforce 750. The customer complaint basically is that the front brakes keep locking up, and he thought it had something to do with the engine braking on this thing, but the front brakes are not part of the engine braking system on this. It's a completely separate system. And then he says he has a draw on the battery. The battery keeps dying. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and do a charging system video here. I've already got the brake fixed on this thing. I knew it was gonna be, ended up being basically that he had some water in the reservoir. I had to drill out and replace both of the reservoir cap screws. Bleed that out. The return orifice was clogged, drilled that out, or I shouldn't say drilled it out, cleaned it out. I got an index drill bit, the right size goes in there, cleaned that out. Bled the whole entire brake system out, and now we have brakes without any sticking. But again, he's saying he has a draw on the battery. So let's find out if it's actually a draw or if it's only happening when the unit is running. I'm pretty sure he says he goes back to start it and it's dead. So we'll go ahead and pop the seat off this thing. We'll check the voltage in the battery, which honestly, the other battery is, I don't know, I say check the voltage. I've replaced the battery because the other one was completely dead. It wouldn't even charge. So I just got that installed not long ago. I don't know, maybe 3 minutes before I even started filming this video, but the battery is installed and I was like, let's do a charging test video on this thing before I start doing things, because that other battery would not even take a charge. It was 2 years old and it's been dead for a long time. Pop the seat. It's got a new battery in it. We'll start it up. We'll check out to see if the battery's charging, because I haven't started it yet. Check out to see the battery's charging, and if not, we'll go ahead and pull the plug off the stator. We'll check ohms through each plug. We'll check to ground, and we'll check AC voltage output, and that'll let us know if the stator is any good, and it's a possibility that could be the rectifier. So let's go ahead and get the seat off, check the charging voltage of this thing while it's running. All right, so let's get the seat popped off. Pretty simple. Pull the lever there, just get it out of the way. Like I said, I've already replaced the battery. The other one would not take a charge, but I have not started the unit yet. So we know I've already checked the battery for voltage. It does have good volts. Let's just go ahead and check to see if we have anything when this deal's running. Turn this to volts DC, and we'll just take the negative and positive, put it on those there. Turn the key on. All right, so here we go. Black to negative, red to positive. And 12.758, barely climbing. That should be around 13.5, almost minimum while we're idling. You can see it's slowly climbing. So let's go ahead and we'll shut this back off. Let's walk around and find a stator plug on this thing. You can see the stator goes on this side, and the wires come out here up top, run around the front of the motor, so the plug's gotta be somewhere on the other side. All right, so I gotta grab my headlamp from so far, and I see the plug way up top here. Let's unplug that. It's a big round one. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead, just like any other charging system, we're gonna turn this on ohms, and then what we'll do, we'll check between all three plugs. Let me go ahead and give you guys a little height, because that thing, you're actually down kind of low here. Here we go, get in here like so. If I can get you in there. So we'll set this here, hopefully you can see that. And what we're gonna do first, we're gonna have it on ohms, and we're gonna go ahead and check between all three of these plugs to see if we have resistance, which we should. Nothing crazy high. So we got 0.5, but let's cross our leads up. This shows what we have here. We have 0.4, so it's 0.1. Because we got to subtract that 4 from our reading. So we got 0.2, 0.2, and again, we know because we're subtracting, I actually say 0.3, not 0.2, and 0.2 again. What do we have, 5? Was it 5 or 4? 4. So it's 0.3, 0.3, 0.3, so that's good. Now we'll check each one to ground. It's pretty common for any charging system. Find a good spot to ground. No issues there. Check the next one here. I know it's kind of probably hard for you guys to see what I got going on here. Nothing there. And the last one, to ground, and we're good there. So we got good ohms, so we know there's not a broken wire. We know the stator is not grounded out to the motor anywhere and dissipating the charge it's creating. Next thing we got to do is turn on AC volts, and then we'll go ahead and check it the same way we checked the resistance. I didn't realize how high you guys were. So again, we'll check between this one with the motor running, these two with the motor running, and then these two with the motor running. And each one of these should be pretty even as far as charging voltage goes. So let's turn that on. Again, make sure you're on volts AC. Turn the key on. Go ahead and probe in here, probe in here. 30, 37, 38 here. 38.39, that's close enough. And then we'll go these two. 38, 39. So all those are relatively super close. So we know that the stator checks out. So if the stator checks out like it does, most likely it's going to end up being a rectifier. Now you can test a rectifier forward and reverse bias, but I pretty much can guarantee that it's going to be the rectifier. If the stator checks out, that means it's getting power to the rectifier, most likely. And then you can go ahead and get yourself a rectifier. Now, if you want to go ahead and check it, forward bias, reverse bias, you're going to do that on ohms. Or no, is it a ohms or diode? I don't remember. And then you check these two plugs, these two, and then you reverse that. You should have ohms one way, resistance one way, and no resistance the other way, because it has diodes inside there that keep voltage from flowing back through the system. But I guarantee it's going to be the voltage regulator. Almost 99.9% of the time when the stator checks out good and the wiring looks good on the unit, it's going to be your voltage regulator. So we'll get one of those coming. I know OEM, they're not available anymore because I've already looked this stuff up just in case it did have a problem with the stator or the rectifier. I knew where to get it from. So OEM rectifier is not available through Partzilla. You can go ahead and hit up Rick's Sports Electrics. Is that what it is? Rick's Electric Sports Electrics. They have them in stock. They had the Hot Shot one for like right around $200. RM Stator is another good source. They have them also. Yeah, this is Rick's Motorsports Electrics. They have one for $119, which is a basic one, and they have the Hot Shot one for $199.95 plus shipping. So we'll get one coming, and we'll go ahead and throw it on here and see if that cures our problem. All right, rectifier is in. Again, guys, was it this past week I didn't have a video come out. Sorry about that. I had to head up to New Jersey Motorsports Park Thursday, Friday to do a test with the brand new 2026 Ducati V4R for the Flow for Law or Warhorse Flow for Law HSBK Racing Ducati Superbike team. So sorry I didn't get a video out, but I did post that short. But we got this in. Let's go ahead and walk around the back because it took me forever to figure out where the heck the rectifier was. It is right back here, right there. So we will unhook this plug. If I can get my hand in here with the camera in my other hand. Let's see, we'll unhook this plug. Oh yeah, I can't do that one-handed. Ooh, that thing is on there. There we go. That one is off. Plug in the new one. I know you can't see it, but now I won't bolt it up until I verify that it's it, but I'm 100% sure that's going to be the problem. Where did I leave my voltmeter? Got to find that silly thing. I like to leave it all over the place. Where did I leave that? Huh, found it. All right. Yes, I like the word all right. Put it on volts DC. Let me grab the tripod, set you guys up so I can actually hold this thing. All right, so make sure you turn your voltmeter on volts DC again. We'll set it down, pull the choke on, key back on. Thing fires right back up, that's for sure. Here we go. Look at that. 13.7 right now. We do have a high idle because I do have it on choke, and it's steadily climbing. 13.8, 13.9, and you can get up to mid 14s, which is perfectly fine as long as you're not like above 14.7. So there we go. Problem solved. Let's go ahead and see if the thing will idle. I know he said it sat for years. Idle's a little low, I think. So hopefully we don't have a problem with the carburetor on this, because then that's going to be extra time, extra money. Not a hard job to do, just time consuming. So basically, a charging system on your motorcycles like the Honda CBR 1000RR-RSP, the V-Star over there, the Triumph back there, the Busa over here. I think that's all I have in here. Oh, even the side-by-side out there, the Massimo T-Boss 550. That's your basic way of checking almost every single charging system there is on a lot of these units like that. Now, that is because, I mean, you can even check it on this 83 XO100S. It's a little bit different, but pretty much the same basic thing. Some of these will have, in the manual, you got to look. I know the KFX, is it KFX 7090 Kawasaki will tell you it has a certain amount of voltage to ground. So make sure you double check your service manual, because some of them will have a little resistance to ground, not voltage, resistance to ground. That kind of threw me for a loop when I worked on one of those. I had to look at the service manual and I go, oh, that'd be the first time I've seen something saying it's going to have X amount to resistance to ground. But that's how you check all these things, man. Your motorcycle has an issue, your boat, your four-wheeler, your whatever that has a stator and all that, that is exactly how you check your charging system. You check it at the battery, see if it's charging. If it's not charging, go down to the stator plug, pull the stator plug. Check it statically between all three leads, you know, the one here and one here, and then these two here, and then these two like this. Or if you got a straight plug, same thing. Gotta make sure you check them all together. There should be resistance. Again, cross your leads up, subtract that. Now, if it's crazy high resistance, that's not good. So you want, you know, maybe 3-4 ohms resistance. Some could be higher, some could be lower. Again, service manual for sure. You can hit up emanualsonline.com. Use this discount code LimitlessPower22 to save 22% on your service manuals. You can check that out there. Check your service manual for that, and then you also check each pin to ground. Make sure it's not grounding out, which if it's grounding out, when it's spinning around creating the voltage, it'll send that voltage right to ground and you won't charge your battery. And then you'll check your AC voltage output, which it has to be running. You can do it on idle, and you can check all three pins the same way you did when you checked for resistance. Same way there, and make sure it's all relatively close. And then you can go ahead and rev it up and make sure it's not surpassing the maximum that your service manual says, and it's called overcharging, and that can also go to fry your your rectifier, your battery. Too much voltage can fry this whole entire thing. You don't want that to happen. So if it's way, way, way high and it's OL in your voltmeter, there's possibly an issue there. Some will, some won't, depending on how high your voltmeter reads. Those are the three ways you check a stator on this thing, and if all that checks out and the battery is good and the wiring looks good, almost guaranteed 99%, 0.99999, your regulator rectifier is going to be bad. Look it up, get one. Don't buy a cheap Amazon crappy one. You could have issues with that down the road. Same thing with the stators. I get it if they're not available OEM. Check out Rick's Motorsports Electrics. Check out RM Stator. Check out Ricky Stator. There's a bunch of different places you can go that create these things, and they're not Chinese garbage off of Amazon. I know it's cheap. I know it's quick, but you can run into a lot of problems. I've seen that in the past at dealerships I've worked at and other units I've had around my shop. So again, try to stay OEM if possible when it comes to your charging stuff, or pretty much anything, honestly. And if you can't, try to find high quality aftermarket parts. You can buy Rick's and Rick Motors and RM Stator off of Amazon, and it comes usually direct from them as a third-party seller. But again, guys, 05 Kawasaki Bruteforce 750 ended up having a bad regulator rectifier. I will go ahead and secure that in place now. I will cut the video here. Again, guys, that's emanualsonline.com, discount code LimitlessPower22 to save 22% at checkout on all your service manuals. Also, shopdynamictools.com, use discount code POWER15 at checkout to save 15% on any tools you get there. Hey, follow any of my affiliate links down below for Amazon. I do buy some things from Amazon, depends on what it is. And again, Rick Stators and all that you can get through Amazon because they are a third-party seller. Anything else to help the channel out? You know, like I said in the past, I have hats. We got shirts. You guys probably seen the back. I have shirts. Still working on the dyno trailer and all that. And again, guys, thanks for all your comments. Helpful ones, unhelpful ones. It doesn't matter what it is. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Everything you guys do helps the algorithm out, helps push this content out. And I really appreciate it. And everyone who has subbed and everyone who's looking to sub, please do. And I appreciate it, guys. And I'll catch you on my next upload.